Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever you come across this video, thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. Thank you all for the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's booking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, sending things to the P.O. Box, purchases off the wish list, and tipping the Clarista. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so much. Listen, a lot of you are changing your money story.
Sometimes life brings questions. Questions about love, questions about career, questions about your life journey, and sometimes we just need a little clarity. And that is where my new sponsor, Psychic Source, comes in. Psychic Source has been around for over 35 years, connecting people like you with trusted, compassionate advisors to bring through insights and guidance that they need at this time. One of the things that I loved or that stood out to me with Psychic Source was that not only do they care about their customers, but they also care about their employees as well as the world. They donate 1% of all proceeds to a good cause through their kindness initiative. I had a chance to experience the whole experience and talk to a psychic advisor, and I left feeling far more confident than I did like walking into it. She was able to pull on a recent dream that I had, and the craziness of it, and help me find clarity through that. She recognized that I was going through a purge and that I was going through kind of like a rebranding, if you will. She was also able to give me like kind of a little bit of clarity on a direction that I'm headed in, and she even was able to like give like dates type energy, as well as like a couple names she pulled out. So it was very good. Like I said, I left feeling a lot more confident than I did going in, just about the direction that I'm headed in. And I didn't ask her any questions. This was all just, I just asked her, what do you got? And she just came, pulled all this stuff, and it was very good. It was very good. So with all that being said, I'm excited to share that Psychic Source is offering an incredible deal for my viewers, you guys. Okay, new customers can get up to 40 minutes with one of their advisors for just $19.80. That's a value up to $240. Okay, you can get the deal through the link in the description box below using the keyword Corie, Corie, or you can go to trypsychicsource.com/Corie. There's never been a better time to experience true connection.
You're changing your money story, the way that there was like an old story that you had about money, right? And there's a new story that you're writing when it comes to money. All right. So I don't know if that's going to be the whole message, but that's definitely something that came through, and that might be something that you might want to do. I do feel like this is kind of happening like naturally, like the divine is kind of ushering this in, but also it may be a good exercise to like write down what is the old story, right? What is the old story around money, and then write down what is your new story, right? Something like that to kind of I don't know, it's there's also some sort of like loose ends closing up in some sort of situation for some of you. Something about loose ends being tied up here. Okay, what does the collective need to know? Oh, I don't usually take these in reverse, but companionship came out in reverse. So we'll see if we should take it in reverse based on what else comes out here. We have transformation. Whoa. They're flying everywhere. Yeah, we have will here. Oh. There's some sort of okay, so with this companionship coming out in reverse here, right, it is a dog, right? There's something about that. But then we have this transformation. Then we have this will here with the now she's riding the tiger, which is kind of giving the same kind of energy here, right? Something that was like not working together, right? Like it feels like something that kept like not connecting, right? It like the gears kept like grinding, or they kept, you know what I mean? And I don't know what this is. It could be with a relationship, it could be with money, right? It could be with a career, it could be with a manifestation, something like that, right? There's something about that where it's like they click, right? There's something about these gears finally coming together and then being able to turn here. So, and that always reminds me of like the Wheel of Fortune with that turning energy. Okay. Okay, and we have the authenticity here. With reliability, the goat at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's see. This authenticity is giving kind of like an energy of like standing up to some sort of like naysayers, right? There's almost this energy where, say for instance, it's like you may have like kind of, this dog or this something like that being representative of, or this tiger, right, being representative of something, right? Like I said, like a relationship, money, a career, some sort of manifestation, something like that, right? There's almost this energy of even defending it, right? Like even kind of showing up in a way of like, yeah, this is my dog. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know a better way to say that, but because this could have been something that maybe you kind of kept hidden or like under the radar, or like, there's something about, again, and this kind of reminds me a little bit of yesterday's reading where it was like, there's something that you felt separate from, right? That you had like separated yourself from, like your perception of that. It's like you're not, that separation is being like alleviated, right? Um, and that's where it's like this authenticity kind of shines through, because it's almost like this energy of like, whoa, I have been, what is the, self-sacrificing. So there's an energy of self-sacrificing, probably in order to make yourself feel safe. I think this is being released. Maybe to make others feel comfortable, but ultimately I think it's to make yourself feel safe. Tell me about this companionship in reverse. It's brought in a lot of lack, right? This feeling of separation, okay? This also, too, there's an energy as well where there's maybe some like soul family coming together, okay? There's something about, these energies coming together and kind of pouring into each other. It's not to say that you can't pour into yourself, but we're not meant to like be alone all the time. Like we're here to create communities and things like that. All right, tell me about this transformation. So there's something about that as well, where it's like when, as a soul family comes together, that is something else too that kind of makes some gears turn. Okay, because there's some things, they're telling me like soul fragments. So there's something about certain energies, certain soul fragments, right? When it's, whoa, okay, it's like all of these different energies, right? They kind of come together like as one, right? But it's like these different bodies when took these like soul fragments. Not to say that's like, you are it's, I don't want to get all in too deep of it, right? Unity consciousness and all of that stuff, but it's like there's certain soul fragments when it comes to these soul family members that are very valuable to like you at this time, right? Like to your transformation here. Okay, tell me more about this transformation. Community, what did I tell you? Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, tell me about this will for the collective. Ooh, something maybe about an actual will. Okay. Yeah, there may be something about a will and some sort of, or some sort of property, because we have house here, okay? I kind of initially felt that as like your, again, that was kind of like those energies, that release of separation and those energies coming together and the wheel kind of turning. And that might be very significant as well when it comes to this, right? When it comes to maybe a certain situation that involves some sort of will, inheritance, or something like that. I don't think that if there's other people involved, right, I'm not sure that anyone thought that there would be some sort of adjudication here or some sort of like justice when it came to this situation. Okay, it could involve a house for sure. It very much could. Somebody may have, there's something maybe about your house currently. I don't know if this is, there may have been somebody that came and like, I don't know, for some reason they got some sort of, they may have came and visited your house or looked at your house, or there may be something significant about your house that is some sort of like evidence or something, or there's something, I've oftentimes, your external reality is a reflection of your internal reality, right? And your house, your home is like your sanctuary. And so I feel like there's somebody who is aware of that, or there's something about a house, maybe the way that you take care of it, or something that you've done to it, or growth, improvements. This is like some sort of evidence, or somebody came to look at that and that was some sort of evidence. I don't know, there's something about that here. Okay, there could also be some sort of somebody could have made some sort of energetic or like spiritual shots like towards a house, right? Maybe somebody was like got your address or something and was sending things to your house, right? Energetically, evil eye, or maybe even just talking about it, right? And that's also kind of like shots fired, right? And I don't think anyone thought that if that's the case, I feel like nobody thought that there would be some sort of like return of that energy. Okay. Yeah, because if that's the case, there could have been like a heavy energy in your house. Okay, and I have a feeling that nobody thought that this would be returned to them. But it is, or it has been, or something like that here. What's this authenticity for the collective? Yeah, we have mature woman. Mature man. Yeah, pathway. Concern. We're going to find out more about this, because for a lot of you, it's like your authenticity is that you have grown, right? That you have matured, you've stepped into some sort of wisdom. And it's like this pathway that you're on, right, is who you are. There's something about other people may like objecting to that in some type of way, or they may be concerned about that. Hmm. Okay. Tell me more about this companionship with the poverty. You know, it's like we have health concerns. Yeah, whatever this was, right? It created an imbalance here. There's been some sort of flying monkey that's been blocked here. We talk about that often. Yeah. Yeah, look, here, they did some sort of ritual. See? To cause some sort of, they could have done some sort of ritual to cause some sort of health concerns to your finances, right? Yeah, but we have unbothered here. Yeah, there's some sort of unexpected money coming in the distant future here for you. Somebody who is not your friend was doing rituals on your money for sure. Or talking about it, or, you know what I mean? Checking in on it, pocket watching, like that type of energy here. All right, tell me about this transformation community. Yeah, these are higher level soulmates. Okay, for some of you it's a friendship, or yeah. This is also with this transformation, this community, this is you changing some sort of perception and like who you are, how you show up in the world, how others view you, things like that, right? There's something about your value, okay, and the value that you add to others. I think for some of you, you struggle to see that because it's like you're looking for something big, right? But it's the little things that create a ripple effect, right? You may only have one match, right? But you can make an explosion, and that's literally what you do, like every time. And I think some of you are recognizing and realizing that. It's just like, yeah, it's something about also too, like getting some sort of flowers. I picked up on that a couple weeks ago, I think it was, where it was like, yeah, we have this love offer here. Exactly. It's like somebody giving you your flowers, right? Mhm. All right. Tell me about this will with this house thoughts in reverse and the adjudication. Yeah, there's somebody that's very jealous of maybe what you do, how you do it, all of the work that you put into something, or I don't know, there's somebody's, I feel like somebody's jealous of your life here. This could be an older masculine energy, or they could be jealous of, somebody could be jealous of you. You could be this mature man, this older man, or this mature man, right? But it's like I feel like somebody's jealous of the way that you live, or the work that you've put into yourself here, the healing that you've done. Because somebody was really anticipating. They trusted that you were in a mentally and emotionally unstable place. Okay, they did something and they were expecting some sort of conflict here. There's something that you've done here, collective. You've put a lot of time and energy into it, whether it be yourself, your healing, your career, your house, um, your finances. It could be, I'm not exactly sure. And it could be all of the above, right? Where it's like, or maybe multiple things, right? And it's like you're in a different place, the gears are turning. You know what I'm saying? Like the gears are turning for you. The wheel is spinning for you, and there's somebody that is jealous here. Either you're this, older or mature man, or this is a older or mature man that is jealous of you. Okay? Take it as it resonates. Tell me about this authenticity, mature woman, paving the way, and concern. It's like while you had your head down, you were doing this work, right? Whatever, people were probably like, it's like, there is something about a priest being a karmic masculine, for sure. A priest or a pastor, and what makes them karmic is, they're telling me, is their limited beliefs, right? And their judgment that they cast on to others. Mm-hmm. I just heard very specifically, this person is not a vessel for God. They could be. They could be. But they, yeah. Yeah, a lot of you are ascending to another level in your career. Okay? Um, I almost wonder too. There's an energy of somebody maybe thinking or anticipating you waiting on something, like not taking action in your own life, right? And I think that's where maybe this jealousy and this envy comes from, because somebody didn't anticipate you to, one, recognize that the gears weren't turning, right, and two, to do whatever it took to make that happen, right? um, in whatever area this is in your life. Yeah. And this could be somebody that, like I said, that it's older, that didn't that maybe put their focus and their work somewhere else, right? They could have been, you may have been really focused on the internal work and seen a lot more results, and this person may feel like, man, I worked my life away, right, and I don't have nearly the results. And that could be where this like jealousy and this envy kind of comes from, right? And the thing is this person just didn't have, maybe they didn't have the resources that you had, or their belief systems like that. It's just different. It feels like that type of energy. But this person is, still jealous or envious here. Okay. Um, yeah, something is changing as far as like I said, your perception or your dynamic, definitely your money story, but also, when it comes to, it's like when you release the separation from something, there's also like a perception when it comes to maybe the way that you view something here. Like, regardless of the way that happens, okay, it pushes you further into this like boss type energy, and that's that will there, right, and that authenticity, right, ownership. um there's what's coming through, there's an energy where it's like faith without works is dead. But it's like you've been working really hard on your faith, okay? And that may have been, kind of a predominant thing. But now it's like, I feel like there's something where, certain things are happening and the wheel is spinning. And now it's like, now comes the works, right? Like it's something like that where the works are coming. Not that you haven't been doing the works, right? But it feels like that type of energy. Where it's almost like you're graduating. Really, it feels like, it's like, okay, faith school is over, right? You have passed all your tests, with flying colors. And now we're, now it's time to go out and use that, but while doing your works, right? And that type of energy. There's also something too when it comes to some sort of religious beliefs, especially for those of you that maybe work in like a spiritual community, or in some sort of something, right? Healing, or whatever it is, right? There's some sort of like old religious programming that I think that you're changing the perception on as well, especially when it comes to accepting um, tokens of appreciation or receiving payment for those services. Okay? There's like a shift that's happening here when it comes to that. All right, let's get some final messages here for the collective about this. Yeah, somebody worked with a spouse to cause some sort of confusion to the star. You're the star, okay? You're the star. You are healing. Also, too, there's something about maybe being well known in a field, or you know, maybe even being, you know, in the public eye, whether it be, you know, on a large or a small scale. But also, too, this is kind of like the earth angel type energy, as well as the temperance, right? It's the star seed type energy here, okay? You bring through revolutionary type stuff, okay? In something. Yeah, basically, I feel like it was like two people that were trying to create some sort of like reality for you, or some sort of outcome for you, and they got quite the opposite here, okay? Yeah. Yeah, because the Seven of Wands, this really feels like there's your spiritual team. Yeah, Three of Swords. Exactly. Your spiritual team was like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. We're not getting the star involved in this third party situation, because that's what it was, even if, you know, there was no romance or anything like that going on, you know? All right, let's get one more on all these. There's some energy where I feel like somebody didn't want you to know who to trust, right? I feel like there's like, I feel like they wanted to cause some sort of confusion about, you know, within your intuition, within your discernment, and things like that, right? Wanting to cause you burdens, kind of putting you in an indecisive energy, okay? There could have been some sort of exchange of money here, or there could have been some sort of, or there will be, yeah. Especially with the Justice kind of coming out on this Six of Pentacles. It's like, well, it didn't come out, it's just on this hand with the Three of Swords. There's some, you're healing from some sort of, a third party situation when it came to this, right? And there's some sort of blessing that comes after that. The Nine of Swords with the King of Swords. And I saw earlier there was a Queen of Swords on the other side. This would be like two people who use like manipulation and, I don't know, certain things here to keep somebody in their head. Indecisive. Yeah, but we have the Ten of Swords with the Eight of Cups. I mean, these people had to have been pretty significant in your life, okay? Because I just get the feeling where you hung around and you know, for a while, and you kind of took that, you know, whatever it is. But this is also, too, it's like leaving one community and you know, leaving certain people behind like this, or like I said, healing from this and things like that. I also feel, too, when it comes to like defending yourself and that type of energy and stepping into your authenticity and having to not self-abandon in order to make others feel comfortable, or because, whatever, again, there's this jealousy, right, and this envy, and so there could have been a level of like self-abandonment, or like making yourself smaller in order to make others feel comfortable. You're not doing this anymore, and there's something about like new community or soul family, higher level soulmates that are coming together, and again, they have that, these certain like energy frequencies, or energy, like soul fragments that are very important, part of your, wheel spinning. And that could have been too, where it was like trying to keep you confused about who you could trust, because it's like, well, if they can't trust anyone, then they just won't build. But the thing is I think you just began building anyways, whether it be, again, working internally or externally or whatever it is, you did. And this is, I don't think that they ever expected that. Yeah, I don't think that they, somebody's being put to rest. I picked up on this, yesterday as well, and again, my condolences. I do feel like there may be an older woman that may be passing away. Okay, um, you may be randomly traveling here. Okay, because somebody passes. This may come up. You may be going to help. I don't know, planning services, something like that. Okay. Um, but anyways, I feel like there's an energy of somebody being jealous about you being further in life. You know what I mean? Um, or something like that, or doing more with your life, or something, I don't know. But this is a community that you're definitely leaving behind, and it feels like there's new community that's coming. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like there's somebody that's watching, okay? And there's some sort of perception. They're learning some sort of truth. It's like you're not in this Four of Cups energy, right? You're no longer feeling left out by these people, or betrayed, or heartbroken, or anything like that, right? You're in this Nine of Cups energy, and this Empress energy here. Yeah. Yep. So, anyways, all right. Anything else that needs to come through? Yeah, I feel like this is a situation, for some of you. It's actually a couple situations, right? There's a couple different situations where I feel like, yeah, there's something about lack being an illusion, and then we have this Queen of Pentacles energy, Four of Pentacles, Seven of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, something about not having enough, or not, something like that is an illusion. A lot of you are in this, you radiate this Queen of Pentacles energy, but for whatever reason you don't believe it. And I think it may have to do. There's something about this couple. There's almost like this energy where it's like there was like an original third party situation that created, maybe from when you were a child or younger or something. And again, it doesn't have to be romantic, right? Like third parties, or somebody could have chose work over you, somebody could have chose, all these different things. There was an original third party situation that continued to manifest. There was a physical manifestation of this kind of showing up for you, and I feel like you closed out that cycle for sure. And for whatever reason, this is maybe coming by surprise or something like that. So, anyways, there's kind of a lot here, but ultimately, as far as what's going on in your life, you're changing your money story. And things are going to start just flowing, is what it feels like. You could have been resting quite a bit recently, or healing, or something like that. But there's some sort of, again, there was some sort of old belief, right? And I feel like for some of you it was religious. It's being kind of like shut down here. And it maybe kept you still or something like that. But with that, there's definitely, releasing that, there's definitely movement forward. There's some sort of like bossing up happening here, but it comes with releasing some sort of old timeline, some sort of old perception, some sort of old connections, okay? Things like that, okay? People that were jealous or envious of you, or, you know, didn't want you to be successful, or didn't want you to have more than they did, or, you know, there's all these different, you know, situations, but you're doing it. And you're doing it well, okay? Alright, anyways, guys, I love you. We'll see you next time. If you need anything from me, that's in the description box below.